just peacefully here.
Since the 32% fee increases, students have been angered by the decisions that our administration have been making. It has all built up to this one day, this rally on March 4th, as a strike to our education.
Along with the strike for education, students are also fighting for the safety of students here after last week's attack of vandalism of the LGBTR Center. We're here today to tell your story, the student's story.
Prior to 11:30 a.m., protesters started gathering from various locations on campus and merged into a solid group at the Memorial Union Quad.
And in the hallway somewhere, then about 50 to 100 people showed up and just started walking up to the top of Olsen, sitting around the rim and just shouting, yelling. A person gave a speech and then somebody pulled the fire alarm and then everybody started marching out.
I'm a freshman and I live in the dorms, and just last quarter there's been 2 people on my floor who said we're not coming back to Davis because we can't afford to go here anymore because of fee increases, and that's just my floor.
After protesting and marching throughout the campus and stopping at every single bike circle, students are gathering here at the MU to shut down the functioning of the Unitrans as a statement that this is our university.
Education is our right, we'll struggle, one fight. Education is our right, we'll struggle, one fight.
We're trying to shut down the bus systems coming into the university. When the university messes up our functioning of getting a higher education, we need to mess up the university's functioning.
Yolo County buses and Unitrans were unable to continue their route through the transit area.
It's putting everybody behind. Yeah, it's when now I'm down. Actually, I'm lucky because I'm going out of service, but the bus in front of me is it'll just make the other buses affect the other buses in Woodland and stuff.
After taking over the Unitrans transit area, students have stopped all traffic within Russell Boulevard and College Park.
While the rally continued in the center of Russell and College Park intersection, students chanted, danced, spray-painted shirts and posters, and even wrote messages of support on the street in chalk.
This chalk represents everyone's struggles! That spray paint represents us! United!
Education, so I don't really see how that's a successful protest. I mean, I can't get to class, and they're the ones that are stopping me right now, not the school.
I think you all know where we're headed. It's a little bit bigger and a little bit more intrusive than where we're at right now. We're going to the 80.
As the protest continues to move forward towards the I-80 freeway, the police continue to tail the student protests.
They're invading our public education, telling us, all underrepresented communities, that we have to pull ourselves by our own bootstraps.
Today, I think I'm mostly angry about all the hate crimes that have been happening on campus. I've been really hurt by the vandalism at the LGBTRC.
After trekking a little over 3 miles from Russell to the interstate, students snaked through the outskirts of campus, passing the Bargain Barn, Food and Science Building, and Mandavi Center.
Students encountered their first confrontation with the police as they started heading towards the Interstate 80 intersection on Old Davis Road. Police were decked in riot gear and armed with batons, pepper ball guns, and tasers. As students advanced peacefully, police retaliated, beating students with batons, and several tasers went off. However, students' ability to break through the line of police drove police to regroup with approximately 100 surrounding officers from the Yolo and Solano area.
We expected the police to do something. That's their job, but we're not going to be stopped. And that's what the protest is saying. We're going to disrupt it until you understand that we ain't going nowhere.
Face to face with police officers once again, indirect pepper ball shots were fired to warn students to stay back. However, when students continued to move forward, they found themselves in an open fire of pepper balls and apparently beanbag guns. In efforts to illustrate the demonstrators' peaceful motives, students offered flowers to the officers and raised symbols of peace.
Stay back! Stay back! Stay back! The freeway is not closed!
If you look right here behind me, this is what the students are heading towards. They're holding up peace signs and signs of flowers to show that this is a peaceful protest, but this is still what awaits them.
What do you think about the police barricading the entrance right now?
Well, I guess they're just doing their job, but I think we can outtake them.
I'm really proud of them out there because they're showing that even though we can't be there, they're supporting every one of us.
You guys ready to augment?
At 2 p.m., a student was pulled out of line, tased, beaten, and dragged brutally across the road for several feet. Officers then wrestled her to the ground as they continued to drag the student to a cop car to place her in handcuffs.
Hold the line!
We're at a standstill in front of the Interstate 80 freeway. There's already been one arrest made, and the police are negotiating with students and have offered to let the arrest go as long as students agree to move out of the area peacefully.
Failure to disperse will result for arrest. Please cooperate. Our intention is that nobody gets hurt.
With people anxiously waiting for the pending negotiations with the arrested student, the crowd came to a standstill, unable to go forward and refusing to turn back. Spirits were refreshed when a second wave of union supporters marched towards the I-80 to join them in their rally. Students finally agreed to the negotiations and peacefully left to continue their march elsewhere.
I really want to see all you go home safe today, and that was pretty traumatizing for me to watch Laura. And I really don't want to watch any more of you go through that. So that's the information I have, and I want you to make the best decision you can for yourself.
If she leaves with us, then we'll leave. If she leaves in our group, then we'll leave. All right.
Reporter Nikki Sun stayed at the scene to verify the release of the student in addition to collect comments from university and police
I'm coming
officials.
from a student advocate position, and I'm advocating for their safety and their success, and that's what I want to see happen.
Half an hour after the students left the I-80 entrance, student Laura Mitchell was released with a citation as negotiated earlier.
The freeway's safe, the ramps are open, nobody got hurt, one arrest, a good overall outcome. So deployment of resources, reasonable.
They had actually told the cops at that time to kind of pull back, and this guy came in swinging. So
The public information officer addressed in his statement that no one was hurt. However, the footage caught on tape and the aftermath of injuries from various students suggest otherwise. Meanwhile, reporter Erica So continued to follow the protest group back to campus as students continued to march through classroom buildings and headed toward LaRue Road yet again, only to be continually tailed by nearly 25 police cars.
Protesters occupied the Russell and LaRue intersection. The 2 hours of occupation of the intersection were filled with dancing, chanting, and chalking as a large police barricade stood nearby.
We, the student body, continue to support other schools statewide in defending public education and will continue voicing concerns until something is done to address the fee increases.
After protesting for more than 8 hours, students decided to rest and regain momentum to readdress the issues the next day. This has been Erica So
and Nikki Sun reporting for Aggie TV.